Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this recap video I want to cover a concept that we talked about a little bit in the previous video, and yes, I'll build on ideas, and I want to dive into that today to show you how sometimes the sentiment can shift and how you can gauge which markets you might want to, say, back away from buys, and other markets where if you're bearish you might want to think about taking advantage of a short. So I'm not going to show you these 8 charts actually. I'm not going to show you Dow, S&P, Nas, Russell, but we're going to go right back to that ETF sector watch list. Now you'll notice I've got these 12 charts set up on 3-minute time frames, and you'll notice that in the first column is the S&P, the Nasdaq, and the Dow. And you'll notice in the subsequent columns, according to their weight, so tech, financials, healthcare, those are the sectors in that order that affect the S&P, tech, discretionary, healthcare, industrials, tech, financials. So each one has the subsequent, again, important sectors. So let's use that 2 out of 3 rule again. Now, partly what happened here today, and I'm going to squeeze in a lot more than that's probably visibly comfortable, but just to make a point in terms of what you need to know. Notice that on each one of these, earlier in the day, you can see the movement higher. Even in QQQ, the tech was the worst, right? We had much better clarity in things like, right here you can see the XLK, which does not include Amazon, by the way. If you're wondering what's the difference between XLK and QQQ, they're both tech. The main difference is XLK does not have Amazon, but the XLY, this ETF right here, is 25% Amazon. So look how this one's heading up higher, gapped up. Then take a look at healthcare. Heading higher. So when the market was trying to move higher, I knew that, say, tech was not going to be very helpful, but the 2 out of 3 rule was helping. And subsequently, we did get enough follow through on the NQ to hit our profit target, which was actually the 33 level. We're actually looking for a hit at 74.33. But what was much more clearly bullish, looking at the sectors here, XLI, financials. Okay, so Dow was an easy buy. When you look at XLF, the financials and healthcare, the ES was an easy buy. And then we did get long the Russell as well. But the Russell sector weighting really isn't as helpful in this capacity. Now, so some of this you might be already familiar with. The 2 out of 3 rule. 2 out of 3 of these sectors ideally have to be moving in the direction of the trade in the ES, NQ, or YM. Now, what about the latter half of the day? Later in the day, what started to happen? Take a look at the rollover we started to see in tech again. Take a look at the rollover here in consumer discretionary. See that? Take a look at XLV. Did XLV start to roll? It sure didn't. But if you wanted to short, what were you allowed to short? Where you had 2 out of 3 to the downside. So some of you asking, okay, Raghee, does it work the opposite way? Absolutely. Does it work the latter half of the day, say after 1:30? Absolutely, right? There's the latter half of the day. 2 out of 3, that the healthcare didn't help me out, but these two were both weak. So for those of you that are wondering, well, is there a market that we could fade here? Absolutely, and that's where we look at that. But, you know, I kind of made it up on the spot, but apparently it's a thing. I said, you know, be really cautious putting in the revenge trade. Don't go after these things with revenge. And I said, don't be Darth Vader. Wait, I think I had the image. Yes, don't be Darth Vader. This must be somebody's link, so I don't know. I probably shouldn't share it, but I thought it was brilliant. Don't be Darth Vader. Don't be the person who fades just because the market's too high or too low. Utilize some of this sector rollover to realize, you know what? There is weakness, and it's in NQ. Now, would I have faded ES? Nope, because look. Did we start to roll over in the financials? No. Did I start to roll over on healthcare? I can't fade the S&P. What about the Dow? Did I roll over in XLI, the industrials? Did I roll over on financials? We already know that's a nope. So 2 out of 3 of these are still bullish. I can't play the fade. So notice the only place that we could have faded, justifiably so, was the NASDAQ. So use this 2 out of 3 rule for either direction. I think it'll keep you out of trouble and focused on the symbol that'll have the best follow through. Hope that was helpful. I'll see you in the next update.